Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to I Am Your President, a new game out on Steam. This is part 3 of our Let's Play of playing this game, which is, I guess, kind of like a text-based novel, adventure type game. Not really adventure. You get text decisions, you have to make decisions, and it's a strategy game on top of that. In this game, we're playing as, I guess, kind of a centrist type candidate. I've picked things on both sides of the aisle. I haven't seen where my political stances right now, but we actually have a pretty important decision right now. So one of our campaign promises was to go to Mars. That was it. That was our primary campaign promise. And our vice president is coming to us telling us the window to launch the mission to Mars is now. However, there is a serious risk to the crew based on some solar activity. And so we can either choose to postpone the Mars mission, which will hurt us politically, because it was our primary campaign promise, I guess, but will prevent the crew from dying, or we can choose to send the crew to Mars anyway, and consequences be damned, and we'll see what happens. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to send them to Mars because that's our primary promise for our campaign. So this could be a disaster or not. I'm not sure. But you can see we completed the quest of Human Missions to Mars Part 1. You need to send a mission to Mars, so that decision was made. So I don't know if that's going to be good or bad. We'll see. He was warning us that it's a serious risk to the crew, though, to send them on their way, which we decided to do anyway. Our promise involves one more quest, Human Mission to Mars Part 2, if they land on Mars. So we'll see if they survive or not. Secretary of Health and Human Services. Good morning, Mr. President. I have a bit of an odd question. Broadly speaking, would you consider happiness a good indicator of health? Mental health is also related to overall well-being, I would say. Not at all. For example, I'm miserable, but still healthy as a horse. Mental health. So would you consider happiness a good indicator of health? No, I mean, you can be happy and not healthy, and you can also be healthy and not happy. So I guess overall well-being is pretty important, right? The AI diagnostic software you launched would agree with you. And that's relevant because, oh yeah, by the way, we set up these AI chips that go in people's brains to help them somehow be healthy. That was like our health policy. So we might be a little bit Orwellian in our presidential authority. The program came with a questionnaire to determine the overall patient's well-being and use the data while suggesting the diagnosis. The answers are cataloged and summed up, making them easy to browse. Yesterday, however, I noticed something strange. The program concluded that the patient's happiness is affected by certain world events and readjusts the happiness rating for all patients in real time. This is just fucking weird. I think it uses some sort of variable based on average happiness scores submitted by patients. So it predicts how happy our citizens are with the world around them? That's an excellent way to put it. Still, AI went beyond its initial purpose and shouldn't be making these kind of general assumptions about our society. You might be right. I wouldn't want some heartless program to analyze my psyche. Please disable this feature. Still, that sounds incredibly valuable piece of data. Our politics score is not doing great. If any of these scores on the top get to 0, then we lose. We have a good politics score right now, 600 out of 1,000, but it's trending in the wrong direction. So this feels valuable, which would improve our political score, I'm guessing. Or we can say this seems like a little bit of an overreach, disable the feature. So are we going to turn our people into Terminators? Is the machine just going to be like, I know what's best for you? Rah! But it feels like if that got out, then that would be bad for us politically. So let's disable that feature. You might be right. I wouldn't want some heartless program to analyze my psyche. Please disable this feature. Don't let the AI go beyond its original orders. All right, let's go back to the project screen here. We're trying to get self-checkout clinics, which will improve 8+8 to all stats. So that will help our politics every turn. So we need to spend 5 more of our economy points on this. Gives us a token so we can go ahead and do self-checkout clinics. And there you go. So we're funding available Current funding's 5. Available tokens. Max fundings. I don't really understand this side here. But we've kind of maxed out this part of the healthcare area. And as a result, I think we just dropped our negative score in politics to 18, and we got everything else up by another 8. So we're continuing to spend our points probably faster than we're earning them in some of the things like the economy. But overall, things are headed in the right direction. So the healthcare 4 to 4 projects are complete. I don't know exactly, like, can I not have more than 4 projects then? Did I maybe have to invest in something to give me more projects? Not really sure. Funding disabled. Maximum possible fundings reached. Extend maximum by achieving projects. So I can't fund it anymore. Not really sure. Diplomatic presence, we haven't. So the only other thing we've spent on, I think, is domestic labor. Which we did adjustment to baseline tax, which improved the economy and industry. We can hang out with lobbyists. I don't know how that's an action, which will improve our economy per domestic labor funding, or set up a small business safety net, which will lower the society and industry score. A lot of these like actions seem pretty negative. Internet code of conduct for federal employees. I don't know what the dice rolling thing is. Is that like a crisis thing? But it will improve our political score. So maybe we do that. Maybe we fund domestic intelligence. It'll reduce our diplomacy by 10 and society by 10. And we'll get 1 token. I could also improve. So this is a little bit Big Brother, but we're going to spy on federal employees, right? I don't know what this die roll is. It doesn't really tell me. Max funding, compass change, 0, max, all stats. So that helps. Did that not help? Shouldn't that help our... I'm kind of confused. I guess we'll see. Let's go to the diplomacy screen here. Free trade, right? That'll improve our industry score. Okay. Okay, so we have 10 free trade treaties, which are helping our industry quite a lot. And then we can spend one more thing for funding, I guess. We haven't really done much on espionage yet. Does help the economy too. War expenditures. Helps the economy. Let's do it. We can conquer countries if we do that. I think. All right, those crises are still ongoing. World event awaits in Russia. A senseless massacre has taken place in one of the churches in Russia. Attend the mass organization for the victims that'll improve funding for diplomatic presence and migration control. It'll hurt our political score, but help our society score. But our political score is the most vulnerable. Condemn the extremists. That will hurt our diplomacy score, but it'll actually help our political score. Send condolences. Let's condemn the extremist. Massacres of people, and it's a senseless massacre, are never good. And there you go. That helps our politics score, which is probably the most important thing right now for us. Also, something happened in Iran. Our intelligence reports indicate that Kuwait has lately been conducting... Kuwait? What? Has been conducting multiple nuclear tests. Their neighbors must be worried. Let's use this opportunity to strengthen our military presence in the region. That'll hurt our economy and diplomacy, but help our military score and give us funding and war expenditures and military industry. Oh, really? It's time to show them who they're messing with. But we're like pretty good relations with Kuwait, aren't we? 50% chance it'll increase our military budget. If it fails, then we'll get distrustful relations with Kuwait. No reason to panic. It's very unlikely that we'll turn their weapons against us. That's probably true. Let's show them who they're messing with. It failed. Okay, so we end up making Kuwait distrustful of us, but we get 3 funding of espionage for free, so. Overall, that's okay, I think. The economy is green now. Everything's going in the right direction, boys. My only reason the industry isn't like off the charts is because I keep spending it on projects. We now have 8 action points available to us. And if we go to the espionage, I really don't understand what this is doing. Funding effects. So it doesn't change the max to all stats, and it does improve our politics and our die roll. Whatever the fuck the die roll is, it's not even on here. Maybe some kind of chance for something? I'm not sure, but I thought we got espionage +3 for that event. Or was it domestic espionage? Or domestic intelligence? No. In any event, I do want to... Where were we were funding military last turn, right? This takes industry and politics. Standard issue equipment upgrade. Also helps the economy. Optical reconnaissance satellites. But our society score isn't below 500, so then we don't get that free. Or no, if it's greater than 500, then we get +5 to all stats. Every turn? %50 more efficient investigate nearby conqueror. I like that, the action of conqueror, though. Send diplomacy to prevent other countries to engage. For the moment, we'll take the free 5 to everything, but we may come back to do the standard issue equipment. Because that's important, again, to getting my political negativity under control and helps everything else out, too. Where are we at right now? Point-wise, we got 4 more action points. We go back to the world map. It just seems like everything is like, all right, you do everything on the world map. Let's investigate Russia again. And China. Even though they're like they're very low percentage chances that anything positive will happen. I'm assuming the events are more lucrative. I'm assuming. Or let's invest North Korea. That's a 29% chance of success. We used up all our action points. Our chief of staff is on the way in. I don't know if you're aware of it, but a bunch of people are waiting for you right now. What are they, my fans? Oh, it looks like it's snowing outside. They're journalists. God damn. We haven't had to do a press conference or anything like that. But I don't want to go. I want to stay here. No, you don't. You have to go right now. Okay. Hey, look at this blizzard outside. Look at that blizzard. This game keeps introducing new shit like every few turns. So they're definitely trying to keep things interesting so that it doesn't just become a boring loop of like go to projects, go to map, go to these things. Cause like every few turns, something new like this comes up. All right. Press conference. Click on jumping highlighted journalist to get a question. There are 3 ways to answer a question. Not answering in time means you ignore the question. Okay. Oh, he's jumping. She's jumping. Okay. How are your current political decisions affecting your family? I think they're all very sad and disappointed. They're more than happy. They're very supportive. Yay. I think that was a good answer. Gave me a smiley anyway. Do you think the media are on your side? No, the fake news media hates my guts. Definitely, they hang on my every word. I don't think this is neither of these are good answers. But I guess he liked it. Some of your recent statements made me think that you were drunk or making them. Am I all right? I'm totally sober. So we answered 3 out of 4 questions and it had no political impact. Okay. That was great. Although it did look like some of the stuff actually went up. I don't know why it said no political impact. The society scores going off the charts. Projects plus 60. Holy shit. Just got to get the economy to 1,000. That's one of my quests. My quests. All right. I'm probably not giving the military enough attention. Oh no, an Oscars boycott. Oh no. Why do I care? We need progress is the new theme of the ceremony. Okay. Progress chart crisis scale. And 31. Holy shit. So if we go back to crises, the Oscars boycott is a massive crisis for politics anyway. I guess maybe I'm curious it would be different if we were in a different political party. Like the Democrats are more closely aligned with celebrities. So would it matter less if we were a Republican? Also, this is going to take 31 freaking turns. It's 18, negative 18 on the just as we were getting close to getting our politics under control. Negative 9 on society, but we've got plenty of buffer on society. Society's fine. The sticky people is almost done, which will help society and industry. So that'll actually completely negate the society impact of Oscar boycott. And then the Lake Michigan naval battle, whatever, 6 turns away. So we've got 3 progress crises. Hey, it's the vice president. Good morning, sir. Beautiful day, isn't it? Not really. It's as shitty as ever. Our species is doomed no matter what we do or say. Anyway, what brings you here? Indeed, everything is so bright and awesome. I'm feeling a bit high today, even though I haven't done coke since college. What? Let's be negative. There you go. It helped my politics score out. I wanted to talk to you about a very talented rapper called Crazy. He's simply amazing. I'm an indie rock guy myself. That'll improve our economy, oddly enough. What about him? Hey, 10 more free political points. So I'm just anything I can get for political I am, because right now we've got 22 turns until we run out of politics, which is a fair buffer, but anyway, it makes me nervous that we're so negative there. I'm one of Crazy's biggest fans, and he contacted me yesterday. He's releasing a new LP this weekend, and he wanted to use your photo on the cover. Does he want my face on his album? Why? I'm not sure, but he's a very talented guy, and I just think how many voters I could get on our side. What does he think about me or our government? Not entirely sure, but once during a concert, he said he wants to snort lines and fuck bitches in the Oval Office. What? So basically, he wants to be like me. Interesting. How popular is he? This guy's huge. 10 million YouTube subscribers, 12 million followers on Instagram. Okay, tell him he can do this. He can use my photo on his cover. This feels like it's going to backfire for sure. I'm still not sure about this. Tell him that he should have someone else on the cover. Oh, I don't understand the politics things. So we lost our 10 of our political thing, but it did help our economy by 30. That's probably a good thing. Crazy new album sets the internet on fire. Millions of fans waited for the new Crazy album, but when it finally dropped on Saturday, none of us were ready. The LP is called Love This Motherfucker, and the vice president's face is on the cover. Crazy seems to love the vice president, but hates the head of state. What? No, we made the wrong choice. With songs like Our Turd in the White House and Spill Them Guts featuring Meminem. The album is not only selling like crazy, but scored big among critics. I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. President, but this new thing is already trending on Screecher. What is this new thing? Screecher's Twitter, by the way. Yes, sir. Not living in the moment means being stuck in the past. We don't want that. Nah. Okay. What? Should redheads be allowed to sing Christmas songs? That's a tough one. A real ball breaker, assuming most of them don't have souls. Oh my God. There's many factors to be considered first. I don't mind a redheaded woman singing Christmas songs in December, but a redheaded guy singing that kind of song during the summer holidays makes me want to... What? This is like the stupid, like, do redheads have souls joke? Okay. I don't even have a good option here. Wait, sir, don't tell me this. Tell millions of people on Screecher. Sure, it's not like I've got anything better to do. Thanks, Chief of Staff. What is going to be serious? Redheads are just like you and me. Let them sing if they want to. Funny, Christmas songs are the worst thing that happened to us just after redheads. Outrageous. There's no place in the U.S. for the soulless. Let's get rid of redheads. Weird. Deep inside, we're all redheads. I mean, our blood is red, right? What? Let's do that. That wasn't the most popular thing. 29,000 likes, 7,000 responses, and 7,000 retweets or whatever. We have 2 screeches now, by the way. What? Dire screeching. President is greater than the president screeching. What a stupid thing to say. Okay, I guess I'm not very popular. Can I would just love if I could just send screeches out more frequently than this. All right, so we did get some political score out of that whole rapper thing. I wonder if it was a good thing we didn't end up on the cover, actually. Maybe he would have said all the negative things, but had our photo and the vice president both there. Well, it seems like we cracked the case in terms of how to be profitable. I don't see any changes in my cabinet at all. Projects. How do I get more so this will increase funding. Okay. We did the military thing, right? Optical reconnaissance satellites. So we can do military alert AI. I don't know what that does. Safety in numbers. Remote warfare hardware. Military engineering improves the economy. How do I even get a military base? That's an option somewhere, I think. Let's do espionage, I guess. It'll cost us society and military points. So do 4 of those. And then we'll get 5 stats on everything if we do reinforced counterintelligence. Or we'll get 5... Is that funding per turn? Yeah. Or 5 economy. Investigate now costs 1/8. I don't really investigate much, so we'll do reinforced counterintelligence, which will help get these stats going in the right direction. We also have 2 points left, so we'll go to the world map. Do you want to do any more trade? How's our industry's doing well? So maybe we'll just do investigation because we could do more of that. Let's investigate Iran, I guess. We'll end the turn. Oscar's boycott's still going on. The economy's getting close to 1,000. A world event in Iran again. A plane with several American tourists on board crashed minutes after takeoff. Demand answers. This is unforgivable. We either get a +50 on diplomacy. If we fail, we become hostile with them. Aren't we already hostile with them? We can give personal condolences, which will hurt our political score, which is not what I want to do. Sometimes these things happen. No, I demand answers. Pfft. They didn't listen to me, the bastards. Well, that was a waste. A complete waste. Carolyn Hicks, Secretary of the Treasury. What did you want to discuss with me? I was hoping you could ordain a presidential commission to investigate some problems threatening the future domestic U.S. market. Go on. As you know, despite being the world's leading economic power, the U.S. is still facing several crises stemming primarily from globalization and rapid technological advancement. It'd be naive to assume these problems will solve themselves, which is why I'd like you to put together 2 separate commissions to investigate and propose future action plans. What would they do? I'd first like to research the future of our industry and propose viable strategies to help fight job outsourcing and tech transfer. By the way, we've been big on free trade and all of our diplomatic stuff. Second, should concentrate on growing income and wealth, the growing income and wealth disparity. I believe these are the cornerstone issues threatening the sustainability of our economic system, and would argue that taking the first step toward finding a solution might become one of defining achievements of your presidency, even if resolving them would be impossible without decades of systemic change. What do you need from me? I'd like you to outline how we should approach these issues. How do you think we should combat outsourcing plaguing the U.S. industry? Take a hands-on approach and research what legislative solutions we could use to control the trajectory of our industrial development. We need to include the private sector in this debate and figure out the best way to incentivize businesses to remain in the U.S. So if we involve the private sector, that may just end up being us handing them money. I have some, I don't know. I mean, I know people are going to fall in different places politically on this one than others, but I'm from Wisconsin, and Wisconsin gave a lot of money to Foxconn to build an industrial park, and nothing happened. They wasted $300 million of taxpayers' money to upgrade all this infrastructure, and then Foxconn basically did shit. So let's take a more hands-on approach. Oh, what? Okay, we have a law and order crisis now? The Committee about Economic Disparity has started its work. Great. The commission should be led by the person most experienced in the industry. We can look for such a person among the cabinet. Oh, that's a good pick. You have my blessing. I don't know what the impact of this is. Sure. Right, so did we just get a crisis because of what I selected then? Because that might be bad. With that out of the way, how do you have an opinion on the growing wealth gap in the U.S.? We must follow the example of the wealthy European countries and consider implementation of progressive economic reforms that might help us even the playing field. We have to reignite the entrepreneurial spirit of the American people. Let's take steps to ensure that the potential remains unhindered. I don't know what to do. I guess we're technically Democrats, so we'll go. Did I just start another crisis? Okay, yeah, I keep using the cabinet. I don't know what this is going to do to our cabinet. What is this? What is this crisis? How many frickin' President's Committee about future of U.S. industry. Why is that a law and order crisis? It also doesn't seem to have any impact. It's just a timer. Because it has 400 energy, 9 per turn. So, okay. And then we've got the Presidential Committee on Economic Disparity, which is, again, 400, but 6 per turn, I guess. I don't really understand the energy bolt things here, other than it's some kind of counter, I think. If it, like, uses up a certain amount of energy per turn or what. I'm not sure. Interesting, though, this is -6 per turn for progress. So both of these crises should be over at the end of the turn, right? So, like, does assigning that advisor to each of those sections make crises and progress and law and order go more quickly? I'm really not sure. But it didn't change anything over here, so I guess that's good. The economy's churning along almost to 1,000. Not almost, but we'll be there before too long. Cabinet, so unavailable. Fuck, so we took the Office of Management and Budget and the Secretary of the Energy, and I can't take them out of my closest advisors either. So we lose that impact of both of these guys, which were pretty impactful on some of these things, I think. Or no, we still get them. I don't... What am I supposed to do with these guys then? I don't know what them being unavailable... I would assume it means I don't get their perks. But I still have a plus 18 society in my cabinet here, and that's... Oh, that's this one. I've got plus 18 from the military, which is the Secretary of Defense. Plus 12 on industry. There's 21 more on the cabinet for industry, so that must be what these guys provided, but they're not doing anything or something. I don't know. All right, so projects. What are we going to do now? What were we funding before? I don't even remember. I think we were one away on something, right? No. I want to know how you increase max funding. So domestic labor is actually max funding of 10 by the looks of it. We're not funding 5 though, so I'm not really sure. Max funding of 0 in healthcare, so I can't do anything in healthcare anymore. This will hurt the economy by 10, and I'm not hurting politics. Nothing I'm going to fund is going to hurt politics right now. So I can now fund either hang out with lobbyists, which improves our economy, or I can do domestic labor funding if funding is greater than 20, which is not. Business safety net hurts that. Increases max funding. This isn't a per turn thing, though. Okay. Domestic labor is just where, oh, we can still only do 2 out of 4 projects, though. That's where I don't understand. Like, is there a way to increase the amount of projects you can do? I'm guessing the things that cost more money have a much greater impact globally. All right, back to projects. So we can do 2 more things in the domestic labor section. Maximum salary, that's race to the bottom policy. What the fuck? Oh, wow. So increasing this funding capability massively increases the industrial cost and the societal cost. Well, we're definitely going to commit to it next turn. All right, so we've set up 2 committees. And things are progressing. World awaits more events. What's going on? North Korea. We got a bunch of events here. North Korea. Administrative and funding issues are leading to an increase in child mortality in North Korea. It's North Korea, though. This would reduce country power in North Korea by 12. North Korea stays a authoritarian regime, so it changes their democracy impact, but that doesn't matter. Although people will not think highly of me for just like saying a small, let's embargo them. If we help them, it hurts my economy, makes them less hostile to me. If we fail, it also hurts my economy. It doesn't do anything. Let's hope they can solve their problems soon. +1 action points. Thanks. Free action point. Not really sure I want to jump into bed with helping the North Korean regime. Papua New Guinea. Administrative and funding. Okay, so there's an increase in child mortality here as well. So they'll go from a flawed democracy to a hybrid regime. See if we can help them. 50% chance our popular thing goes up, but our economy's hurt. If it fails, we just spend money. We'll do that. And it was not easy, but it worked. Yay! We spent 50 economy, but we got a nice little society bonus there. And then also something's going on in Russia. Reports of slave traders surfacing amid tourist disappearances in Russia. What the fuck? What if a few of our political opponents decide to spend their holiday there? What? But that does help our politics score. Issue a warning to them. That helps our military score. No reason for us to meddle in the... We're... Okay. This is a little authoritarian, but I need the politics score. I need the politics. I need the buffer. Okay. Mailbox. Establishing bioethics committee. Sure. A new federal institution operating under the Department of Education is to be assembled. They shall be tasked with tackling bioethical concerns arising from the development of new biotechnologies and have the right to start legislative initiatives in the field. Sure, that sounds like one of those worthless committees that, not worthless, there's a lot of important committees, but it does sound like one of those committees that has no tangible impact on anything. Like they're going to like recommend shit, but they can't actually pass laws. They can start legislative process, but they can't pass a law, so who cares? Why's he got a suitcase? It's the Secretary of State. Okay, well, he was kind of indifferent to us, so let's see what he has to say. Okay. If you manage to express yourself in a careful and honest manner, I think it might not affect ratings too negatively in the upcoming elections. Yeah, that's encouraging. Oh, we're going to do a summit? There's still some time before the summit, so let's use that time to work on a statement. Just emphasize the achievements made by your administration. Pass me the speech. That'd be cool if we get to go do a speech. Speeches. Ah, yes, the speeches. One of the best ways for great presidents to leave their mark in U.S. history. Fortunately, there's a whole squadron of talented writers to help you with this task. Just drag and drop the intro body and closing of your choice into the paper, and you're good to go. Okay. Intro. Good morning. Please, no need for applause. Distinguished guests, I'm sure many of you have already grown accustomed to my presence. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy to see you. I still cannot believe how much I've managed to improve U.S. foreign... Wow, I wish I had known the rest of that. Good morning. Please, no need for applause. It's true, I've made diplomatic presence programs my priority, but it's just a humble public servant. I'm not a celebrity. Could this guy be any more full of himself? Oh my God. How about I'm just so happy to see you? Dragmain, let me state the obvious. The U.S. is a military superpower. As such, our military rating is not very good. It's not bad. Like, it's not zero. It's not trending in the wrong direction, but now I know in the past the U.S. has often been demonized by the international community, and frankly speaking, it was not entirely unjustified. Let's talk about world peace. I know that some of you are rolling your eyes thinking, how can the leader of a country famous for its immense army talk about peace? And that's a fair point. However, things are changing. Rather, I am changing things. I've decided to cut the expenditure on war materials on our infamous military-industrial complex. Of course, I won't solve everything overnight. No, I'm not going to do that. Let me state the obvious. The U.S. is a military superpower. As such, we are often held accountable for maintaining the balance of power in the world. Our allies depend on us. But you might ask yourself, how can you reconcile striving for world peace and still keep the infamous war machine operational? Believe I found a solution. During my presidency, I've decided to invest in a number of technologies and projects that approach war differently. We're stepping away from conventional warfare, and our ultimate goal being transforming our military in such a way that it serves both the world and the U.S. population. I don't like any of these answers. Now, I know in the past the U.S. has been often demonized by the international community, and frankly speaking, it was not entirely unjustified. The military operations we conducted worldwide have affected a number of people, even if our goals were noble. But during my presidency, we have reduced a number of military interventions, and I sincerely hope that you can see our dedication to world peace. I haven't intervened anywhere militarily yet, so I guess that's the most accurate statement. As for the American people, I know they appreciate the effort I put into providing them with a social security net that they deserve. I'm doing everything in my power to reform our healthcare system. It is time to set a new standard. As for the future, my administration is dedicated to tackling issues around the energy sector. We will be prepared for tomorrow. I can't do anything more in the healthcare sector, so I don't know. These are all bad options. Social safety net's probably the one thing I can actually do. So that's the speech, I guess. How are the crises going? All right, so the other one of those crises, I don't even remember what it was, is done. Lake Michigan naval battle presumably will end in the next turn or two. I guess this -7 per turn wasn't accurate. Unless it just counts down from the lowest. I don't really understand this, though, because this hasn't changed either. I don't know. All right. So I can't do anything with the social safety net because I can't afford to frickin' spend my politics points. Domestic labor. Give back policy for large established businesses.
The nuclear future.
I don't think I can get there. All right, I guess we're going to do military. That helps the economy, I suppose. Standard issue military equipment also unlocks conquer and spend diplomacy to prevent other countries to engage. So if we go to the world map, we can now conquer. This action allows you to attack a country. It will last some turns. This action ends in two ways, win or lose, when you cannot afford the expense. All right, let's do some investigations. Let's investigate Russia again, China. And can we fund one more thing? Maximum funding disabled. Extend maximum activating projects. So if I did one of these things that increases max funding, then it would have helped. Can I undo any of these? Can I defund any of these? It doesn't look like it. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. I feel like I can't change anything in healthcare. I can't even like cancel any of the projects I'm already doing. I don't have anything more I want to spend, so let's just end the turn. Our president has given a speech. Has it struck a chord? The president dedicated the main portion of his speech to war. The fact that our president thought it was a good idea to even mention armed conflict during a UN summit is astounding, as his peaceful message is in stark contrast with the reality. The U.S. remains engaged in military interventions as we speak. Unsurprisingly, this rustled more than a few feathers in some other speakers. That has been directly and indirectly affected by U.S. imperialism jumped on the opportunity to address it and point out the absolute hypocrisy of our president. But I said that we made some mistakes. The president dedicated the main portion of his speech to war. Wait, it repeated the same thing? Okay. The president also managed to elicit some snickers during his closing remarks when he briefly mentioned the social safety net during his presidency. Meanwhile, working class Americans consistently report one of the lowest levels of security among citizens of developed nations. You should have kept this one to yourself, Mr. President. Oops. I guess that didn't go well. Another Russia thing. As below, so above. A number of high-ranking officials in Russia have been revealed to be part of a satanic cult. Okay, but they're in Russia. What do I care? US has always fought for religious freedom. It'll reduce Russia's power considerably, which is interesting. +3 funding to education and social welfare. But it'll hurt my... So I rather have a 50-50 chance of losing politics and gaining diplomacy, or losing diplomacy and gaining politics. Or I have a 100% chance of losing politics and gaining society while weakening Russia considerably. We're going to do the discussing they're as good as dead to me just because there's a chance we can get the politics score to go up and save us a turn. And we didn't. And now Russia's hostile with us. Well, that was the opposite of what I was hoping for. Conquer! That's funny. Who should we invade? I'm guessing that would not be very popular. No, it's the vice president again. I found out your favorite writer died last night. Why should I care? Do you know how many people die each day? More than 150,000. Okay, so that's... Okay. Really, who was it? We'll pretend to be interested. Kilgore Salman. He was an obscure horror and science fiction writer. Okay. In other words, he was just an old fart and he died. Wow. Okay, I think I get it. The guy's death made you realize that you're not getting any younger either, and life is nothing but a series of loss. Am I right? But his books didn't die with him. You still have them. You can still have fun reading them. Just look at the bright side. I guess you're right. Kilgore is gone, but his works are immortal, at least for me and for his fans. That's a nice and comforting thought. Makes me want to start writing. How about an autobiography? Just joking. Or am I? Kilgore Salman, dead, 84. Whose scary, often satirical novels, including Mug in the Sky, 5 to Revolution, and Baby I'm on Fire, were shaped by the horrors of the 20th century. Even though it has been more than 2 decades since his last novel, The Backrooms ripoff, was published. His death left many fans, me included, utterly devastated. I think the politics score went up. I didn't quite see it. And it's now spring, I guess. It's no longer snowy outside. What are we going to do? Like, now I just don't know what to do. Holy shit. The map is -48. I think that's just because of the Russia crisis. I hope. Is that an every turn thing? Or maybe it is an every turn thing because Russia... I'm thinking our politics score and all of these attributes are influenced by your relations with given countries. So if relations get worse, that influences your score permanently. Let's investigate the world. All right, our economy is chugging along, getting closer to 1,000, I think. World events. An issue in China. What's going on there? The president of China is asking us to transfer some money to his private account as a personal favor of sorts. I suppose we can devote some funds toward improving our international relations. That'll actually give us an option for a trade agreement with China, but it'll greatly hurt our politics. Publicly shame him for the action, makes them hostile to us. That'll hurt our overall metrics, though, won't it? Well, if it succeeds, though, it'll improve our politics. If it fails, then they'll become hostile to us. Give me the politics. Yeah. We didn't piss off China, and I got 50 free points. That's a free turn of politics points. Is there something else going on here? Okay. Why does this still have a take global action on what? All right. What's this guy want to do? Director of Science and Technology. You just discovered China's quantum computer is at least 1 million times more potent than anything we have here. But can it run Crisis? Sorry, I don't think I forget it. Old memes die hard. What about China? Sir, this isn't about everything. It's about quantum computing, which is more important than anything else. Okay, but maybe China's just bragging about their machine. Perhaps it's not that powerful. We can never be sure, but they are so far ahead this time we might never catch up. What if this is all a dream? What if I'm just a butterfly taking a nap and not the US president? What the fuck? Oh, what should I do? Invest more money in quantum computing research. You're right. We as a country can't lag. Just put some of our chips there. Let's bet on the future. You're wrong. There is no future. Everything will end in the next decade. And our dying children won't need such a thing as quantum computers. Now get out of office. I need a break. A quantum break, maybe. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. The quantum race is on. Shortly after China launched what is alleged as the world's fastest programmable quantum computer, our president said the United States of America won't give up on this race, which is far from over. Our country will invest much more money in the field of quantum computing, not only to try and win with China, but also to shape the future of our planet the way we Americans want it to be. Hey, that helped our politics score. Sweet. I don't know what this exclamation point. What? There's no global action, as far as I can tell. Oh, there's another thing in Russia? One of our companies has allegedly been caught using slave labor in one of the Russian facilities. Launch an investigation which will make Russia distrustful. That'll get our situation better with them. Blame the incident on corruption and incompetence. That'll help our economy score, but I don't really need that. So let's just launch an investigation. It'll improve our relations with them, which makes our politics score get much better. Okay, so the better relations with more countries that you have, that influences the politics. Good to know. I didn't know that. Okay, I guess I don't really have stuff I want to spend on the... Well, let's see. We were spending some stuff, right? Okay. +5 to all stats. Yes, please. International communications oversight. I'm fine with that. And I guess we got one more dollar to spend. So let's do diplomatic presence. We did get some of our politics score up. I would really like the additional diplomatic relations tool, which currently is locked. I've got to fund that to get it. So, but yeah, I think that's going to do it for this turn and for this video. We've been going for almost an hour, guys. This is I Am Your President, a new game out available on Steam. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Leave your thoughts below. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Until further ado, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'm out.